set up assembly plants or are in joint ventures with local companies, including Toyota, General Motors, Honda, Suzuki, and Nissan Motors. The total contribution of auto industry to GDP in 2007 was 2.8%, which was estimated to increase significantly over the next decade. The auto sector presently contributes 16% to the manufacturing sector, which is predicted to increase even further. Master Truck Manufacturing, Al-Hajj Motors and FAW joint venture for producing Chinese cars, trucks and dumpers. However, on the 19th of March, 2016, Pakistan passed the Auto Policy 2016-21, which offers tax incentives to new automakers to establish manufacturing plants in the country. In response, Audi, BMW, Renault, Nissan, Kia, SsangYong, Volkswagen and Hyundai have expressed interest in entering the Pakistani market. Philippines, edit. Main article, Automotive Industry of the Philippines. The Philippines has a small auto industry with more than 85,000 Japanese, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Nissan, Suzuki, Honda, 8,000 American brand Ford, 6,000 South Korean vehicles Hyundai, Kia, SsangYong produced annually. In addition, there are a number of small independent firms who assemble and fabricate jeepneys and other similar vehicles, using surplus engines and drivetrain parts from Japan and Taiwan. South Korea, edit. Main article, Automotive Industry in South Korea. The South Korean automobile industry is today the sixth largest in the world in terms of production volume, concedes to China, United States, Japan, Germany and India only, and the sixth largest in terms of export volume, achieved more than 4.6 million vehicles produced in 2011. South Korea produced more than 4.2 million vehicles in 2016. 50 years ago, its initial operations were merely the assembling of parts imported from Japan and the United States. The Hyundai Kia Automotive Group is today the second largest automaker in Asia, after Toyota. Annual domestic output exceeded 1 million units in 1988. In the 1990s, the industry manufactured numerous in-house models, demonstrating not only its capabilities, and signaling its coming of age thanks to the heavy investment to infrastructure in the country over the decades. The quality of their automobiles has improved dramatically in recent years, gaining international recognition. Taiwan, edit. Main article, Automotive Industry in Taiwan. The Japanese manufacturers that have, or had, production facilities in Taiwan are Honda, Honda Taiwan Motor, in Pingtung, Isuzu, Taiwan Isuzu Motors, in Taipei, Mazda, through Ford Lioho, in Taipei, Mitsubishi, China Motor Corporation, in Taipei, Nissan, Subaru, Taichung Motors, in Pingtung, Suzuki, Tailing Motor, Motorcycles, in Pingcheng, and Prince Motors, Automobiles, in Taipei, and Toyota, Kyozue Motors, in Zhongli and Guanyin. Other foreign manufacturers that have, or had, production facilities in Taiwan are Chrysler, through China Motor Corporation, in Taipei, General Motors, Daewoo, Formosa Automobile, in Taipei, Hyundai, joint venture with SsangYong Motors, in Taipei, and DAF, through Formosa Automobile, in Taipei. Domestic brands include Tobe and Luxgen. Thailand, edit. Main article, Automotive Industry in Thailand. Thailand is more rapidly grown in the 2000s, largest in South Asia and 14th in the world auto producent with annual output nearly 1.5 million. That is more than in such old and new automakers as Belgium, United Kingdom, Italy, Czech Republic, Turkey, of vehicles developed and issued by foreign, Japanese, South Korean, etc., assist. The Thai-based automobile manufacturer is Thairung, or well known as TR, manufactured by Thairung Union Car Public Company Limited, True. The company was established in 1967 in Bangkok, Thailand. Original name was Thairung Engineering Company Limited, and changed its name to Thairung Union Car Company Limited in 1973. True was listed on the Stock Exchange of Thailand in 1994. True businesses ranging from product design and development, automotive parts manufacturing, industrial equipment manufacturing, car assembly lines and financial business. Some discontinued TR vans powered by Land Rover engine in combination with Thai-developed body design and platform. Modern TR cars are built on small or medium truck space into SUV or 7-seat multipurpose vehicles using TR-owned technology, design, development and assembly skills. The current models are 2009 TR Adventure, based on Isuzu D-Max, and TR Allroader, based on Thai version Chevrolet Colorado. Turkey, edit. Main article, Automotive industry in Turkey. Recently fast growing with European and then Japanese and South Korean help, the automotive industry in Turkey plays an important role in the manufacturing sector of the Turkish economy. The foundations of the industry was laid with the establishment of Otosan Assembly Factory in 1959 and the mass production of the domestic car Anadolu in 1961. Last year's Turkey produced up to 1.2 million motor vehicles, ranking as the 7th in Europe and the 16th to 17th largest producer in the world. With a cluster of car makers and parts suppliers, the Turkish automotive sector has become an integral part of the global network of production bases, exporting over $22,944,000,000 worth of motor vehicles and components in 2008. Global car manufacturers with production plants include Mercedes-Benz, Fiat/Tofas, Oyakrino, Hyundai, Toyota, Honda and Ford/Otosan. Turkey's national automotive brand TOG also started production in 2022. Uzbekistan, edit. Main article, Automotive industry in Uzbekistan. Before 1992, Uzbekistan had absolutely no automotive industry, being part of the Soviet Union. Earlier, used Daewoo Auto, Sam Auto, Use Auto Motors, used truck and bus motors. New auto-producing plants were built with South Korean, Germany and American help. Now that production of passenger vehicles growth up to 300,000 per year, moreover there are more than 28 OEM manufacturers like engine, car windows and others. Uzbekistan exports automobiles and OEM components to Russia and other CIS countries. Use Auto Motors, a joint venture, with manufacturing operations in Azakar, Uzbekistan, and in Khorezm region, Uzbekistan, features 5 vehicle assembly lines and 1 stamping operations plant with a growing local supply base supplemented by commodities and automotive parts largely from Asia-Pacific region, for example, steel coil from Russia, advanced technology parts from South Korea, etc. Moreover, a joint venture with manufacturing operation in Samarkand region, Uzbekistan, 2 commercial vehicle production plants. With multi-shift operations, the number of employees in automotive industry in Uzbekistan estimated around 27,000 people. Vietnam, edit. Main article, Automotive industry in Vietnam. Completely dependent on Soviet imports earlier, Vietnam since the 2000s began to develop its own automotive industry with Japanese, South Korean, Malaysian assistance and, having yet near 40,000 per year capability, accounts as a prospective maker and market in Southeast Asia. In third quarter of 2017, Prime Minister of Vietnam Nguyen Xuan Phuc announced that Vietnam's second largest automaker had started, VIN Fast. Europe, edit. European Automobile Manufacturers Association announced that May 2013 sales across the 27-nation European Union dropped to 1.04 million cars. August 2013 year-to-date became the worst sales year since 1990, with 8.14 million autos sold. Austria, edit. For a long time, Austria imported cars and had small domestic production of trucks and military stir vehicles only. Magna Stir is now a contract manufacturer that has built a number of cars for foreign companies, most recently for Aston Martin and Mini. The motorcycle manufacturer KTM produces the Expo sports car. There is Opel production in Vienna. Belarus, edit. Main article, Automotive industry in Belarus. Belarus had third by volume part of automotive industry of the Soviet Union with near 40,000 annual production. Since that times Belarus specializes on production of own-designed super heavy and middle trucks mainly plus post-Soviet developed buses, trolleybuses and trams. Auto manufacturers in Belarus include MAZ, BelAZ and Neman. Belgium, edit. At the beginning of the 20th century Belgium had been one of the leading European auto industries with famous and technically advanced brands. But domestic producers did not grow and soon disappeared. At the end of the century Belgium became one of the largest European automakers with an annual output up to 1.2 million from assembly plants of foreign brands. Its mainly export-oriented auto industry shrunk by half in recent years, to 500,000 units, due to strong competition with imports from Near and Far Eastern producers. Bulgaria, edit. Main article, Automotive industry in Bulgaria. In 2012, Bulgaria's first domestic supercar manufacturer Sincars was founded as Sincars Limited by the Bulgarian engineer and racing driver Rosen Daskalov in Ruse, Bulgaria. The road-legal Sin R1 features a 6.2-litre V8 and 7.0-litre V8 engine. Bulgaria's production strongly depended on auto imports from the Soviet bloc earlier and currently depends on other European and Asian countries. Socialist Bulgaria has small auto industry including nearly 20,000 units of self-developed Shavda trucks and buses as well as the assembly of Soviet Moskvich cars. From 1966 to 1970 in the city of Plovdiv was production of the Bulgarino. The factory assembled Renault 8 and Renault 10. Bulgaria produced the Fiat 850 and Fiat 124 between 1967 and 1971. They were unofficially called Pirin Fiat. The plant was in the town of Lovik. The same factory, called Balkan, also assembled Moskvich from 1967 to 1988. In 1994, Rover established Roadcar, a joint venture with a Bulgarian company to produce the Austin Maestro at a new factory in Varna, using CKD kits sent from the UK. Production began in July 1995 and 2,200 cars were assembled before the factory closed in April 1996. Together with the Bulgarian company Litex Motors, Great Wall Motors has a production base in Bohovica, near Lovik. They assemble Volks, Steed and Hover. The factory has an auto assembly capability of 50,000 vehicles annually. There are plans to be increased to 70,000 vehicles annually in the next few years. Croatia, edit. See also, Automotive industry in Croatia. Rimac Automobili. The automotive industry in Croatia employs about 10,000 people in over 130 companies and generates profit of about US $600 million. Croatia mostly produces automotive parts and software. Two most prominent car manufacturers in Croatia are DOK and Rimac Automobili, while Krobus produces buses. The automotive industry accounts for approximately 1.8% of all Croatian exports, while 90% of profits in the industry itself are derived from exports. Automotive parts manufacturers in Croatia are well integrated into the global parts supply chain, such as AD Plastic, which produces for Volkswagen. Croatia is a fairly new player in the automotive industry and its primary focus has been on the development of luxury-grade electric automobiles and supercars. The Rimac Concept 1 is one of the world's first electric supercars. Czechia, edit. Main article, Automotive Industry in the Czech Republic. Further information, List of automobile manufacturers of the Czech Republic. Automotive industry has strong tradition in the Czech lands. Tatra produced first car already in 1897 as third oldest car manufacturer in the world. Joined later by brands such as Skoda. During first half of 20th century Czechoslovakia had advanced and highly diversified automotive industry, trucks, personal vehicles, buses, trolleybuses. Tatra 77 is considered the first serial produced, truly aerodynamically designed automobile. Post-war socialist Czechoslovakia restored its own auto manufacturing that was the second in the Soviet bloc outside the USSR, producing 250,000 per year vehicles of all types, including Skoda cars and trolleybuses, Tatra, and trams, Karosa buses. After dissolving of CSSR, Czech Republic has inherited most of its auto capabilities and then has grown many times by German, French, Japanese, and South Korean investments. Now the Czech Republic is one of the most significant European, 5th, and world's 15th automaker, world's second manufacturer of cars per capita, having annual output near 1.4 million and largest export to Europe, other CIS countries and even to United States. Auto manufacturers in the Czech Republic include original Czech brands Skoda, Tatra, Avia, Praga, bus manufacturers SOR, Koda Transportation, Tedem, Karosa Iveco and assembly plants of Hyundai and joint venture Peugeot, Citroën and Toyota. Finland, edit. Finland depends on imports of cars and other vehicles. It does however have its own, yet small, auto industry which includes the production of Valmet automotive cars, Sisu trucks and buses /coaches of various producers. This has decreased from 40 to around a few thousand since the end of the 20th century. The Valmet automotive plant in Uusikaupunki produces over 100,000 cars annually, currently Mercedes-Benz A-Series and GLC Series. France, edit. Main article, Automotive Industry in France. France was among the earliest pioneers in auto production. Armand Peugeot, along with Léon Serpollet, produced a three-wheeled steam-powered car in 1889, and produced a four-wheeled car powered by a Daimler gasoline internal combustion engine in 1890. The two main automotive manufacturers in France are PSA Group, makers of Peugeot and Citroën, and Renault, which makes Renault and Dacia, in Romania. In 1975, Peugeot acquired Citroën, and formed PSA Peugeot Citroën. 3 years later, the company acquired Chrysler's European division, the former Roots and Sika auto manufacturers. Renault, which was founded in 1899 and state-owned between 1945 and 1996, temporarily was in alliance with Volvo and then has been the controlling shareholder of Nissan since 1999. Renault also had a controlling interest in American Motors Corporation during the 1970s and 1980s. The other major vehicle manufacturer in France is Renault Trucks, which is primarily owned by Volvo. Other auto manufacturers that were active after World War II included Alpine, Volkswagen, Matra, Panhard, bought out by Citroën, Rosengart and Vespa. After the war, luxury car makers were hampered by the taxes based on the fiscal horsepower rating, or CV, which doomed the grandes routiers such as Bugatti, Deliage, Delahaye, Hotchkiss, Salmson and Talbot Lago, purchased by Sika. At the end of the 20th century, France was the second largest European, slightly lagging behind Germany, and world's fourth largest automaker, having an annual production of 3.54 million. Due to strong competition from Spain and European imports from Asian, Eastern European, Turkish and other producers, last year's output decreased to 2.2-2.3 million and third place in Europe, after Germany and Spain, and 10th in the world. Germany, edit. Main article, Automotive industry in Germany. The petrol-engined automobile was invented in Germany by Carl Benz. Furthermore, the four-stroke internal combustion engine used in most automobiles worldwide today was invented by Nikolaus Otto in Germany. In addition, the diesel engine was also invented by German Rudolf Diesel. Germany is famous for the high-performance and high-quality sports cars made by Porsche, and the cars of Mercedes, Audi and BMW are famous for their quality and technological innovation. Daimler-Benz's predecessor Daimler Motor AG Gesellschaft was the industry's oldest firm. Daimler-Benz company dates from 1926. In 1998, it bought the American automobile manufacturer Chrysler, then sold out in 2007 at a heavy loss, as it never managed to bring the division to long-term profitability. In the popular market, Opel and Volkswagen are most well known. Opel was a bicycle company that started making cars in 1899. General Motors bought it out in 1929, but the Nazi government took control, and GM wrote off its entire investment. In 1948, GM returned and restored the Opel brand. Volkswagen is dominant in the popular market. It purchased Audi in 1964, which eventually led to the formation of today's Volkswagen Group. Volkswagen's most famous car was the small, beetle-shaped economical people's car, with a rear-mounted, air-cooled engine. It was designed in the 1930s by Ferdinand Porsche upon orders from Adolf Hitler, who was himself a car enthusiast. However, production models only appeared after the war. Until then, only rich Germans had automobiles. By 1950, Volkswagen was the largest German automobile producer. Today, the group is one of the three biggest automotive companies in the world, and the largest in Europe, and is now part-owned by Porsche Automobile Holding SE. As of 2010, 7 different car manufacturers belong to the industrial concern: Volkswagen, Audi AG, Bugatti Automobiles SAS, Automobili Lamborghini SPA, Bentley Motors Limited, Seat, SA, Coda Auto, along with commercial vehicle makers Volkswagen Commercial Vehicles, MAN AG and Scania AB. During German reunification, West Germany incorporated non-large, near 200,000 per year, production of Wartburg, Trabant cars and IFA trucks in East Germany. With annual output near 6 million now, Germany has been the leader of auto production in Europe since the 1960s, and was the third largest in the world during the 1970s, middle of the 2000s. It's now the fourth largest manufacturer, behind China, the United States and Japan. Greece, edit. See also, category motor vehicle manufacturers of Greece. Before 1960 there has been only small-scale, or occasional vehicle manufacture in Greece. Thereafter, production mainly concentrated in commercial vehicles, with production increasing as local type certification laws were made more flexible, while passenger car assembly plants with notable production volumes operated after 1970. Most of the assembly plants were located in the industrial areas of Volos and Athens. Assembly of Opel Kadett, Alfa Romeo Alfa Sud, 45 different models OD Datsun / Nissan, Mazda 323 etc. During the 1970s and 1980s a generation of multipurpose vehicles were locally developed. According to the Statistical Yearbook of the Greek National Statistical Service, EASY, annual production of all types of vehicles, including assembled cars, remained close to 20,000 units between 1980 and 1990. By 1992 all major assembly lines had ceased operations and, since then, there has been no large-scale production. Current producers include Elvo, Replica Hellas, Kerabas etc. Hungary, edit. Main article, Automotive industry in Hungary. Some original car production in the Hungarian part of Austro-Hungary at the beginning of the 20th century was lost. Post-World War II Socialist Hungary widely imported cars and trucks from Soviet Union and other countries. At the same time Hungary produced small number of heavy trucks, rubber, and had strong specialization in Soviet bloc in manufacturing of buses, Icarus, that made it one of the largest bus producers and exporters, including outside Soviet bloc and Europe. The Ganz Works, also a long-lived Hungarian company, has been manufacturing engines, wagons specialized for electric railway equipment. Post-socialist Hungary significantly decreased the manufacturing of buses but found a large assembly capacities of foreign brands, such as Mercedes, Suzuki, Audi, BMW and Opel, with annual production of more than 400,000 cars. Ireland, edit. Main article, Automotive industry in Ireland. The Irish industry in Ireland has a varied history and despite the small size of the island, a punitive tax on imported cars encouraged a wide range of companies to assemble their cars locally including Fiat, Ford and Renault. Following Ireland's entry to the European Union in 1973, the need for locally produced cars to avoid import tax is reduced, and since the 1980s, production ended and all cars are now imported. Italy, edit. Main article, Automotive industry in Italy. The automotive industry in Italy began with the construction of the first Fiat plant, Fabbrica Italiana Automobili Torino, in 1899 by Giovanni Agnelli. In the following years at least 50 other manufacturers appeared, the best known being Isota Fraschini in 1900, Lancia in 1906, Alfa Romeo in 1910, Maserati in 1914, Ferrari in 1939, Lamborghini in 1963, Pagani in 1999, Mazzanti in 2002, Spada Vetta Sport in 2008 and DR Motor Company in 2006. During the First and the Second World Wars and the economic crisis of the 70s, many of these brands disappeared or were bought by Fiat or foreign manufacturers. To 1960s 1970s Italy restored a large auto industry that was third to fourth in Europe and 6th in the world. In the 1980s Italy overtook the United Kingdom but has conceded to Soviet Union that, like Poland and Yugoslavia, found large volume production of cars by Italian Fiat help. In the 1990s Italian auto industry became again third in Europe and fifth in world with annual output more than 2 million. but in the 21st century it's seriously fallen to near 800,000 per year and 8th place in Europe and 21st place in the world. Today, the Italian automotive industry continues to boast a wide range of products, from very compact city cars to sport supercars such as Ferrari and Pagani. As of July 2011, Fiat also holds roughly 53.5% stake in the American automaker Chrysler.